Hello everyone, I'm Jaboria and welcome to my channel, the best place for new and emerging leaders who need help navigating challenging conversations in the workplace. When it comes to developing basic leadership communication skills, you may not know where to start because there's so much information out there. This can become overwhelming and it's absolutely normal to feel that way. Well, today you've clicked on the right video. Today's conversation is all about things that leaders should stop doing. I'll discuss 5 key things that effective leaders know about communication for leadership success. So if I've piqued your interest so far, give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. Number 1. Among the things that effective leaders know about communication for leadership success is communication skills must be developed. The truth is that whether or not you think that you're a good communicator, it's still a good idea to continue to focus on improving the skill set. Like any other skill, the art of communication and communicating effectively needs to be cultivated. This is because there are many different components to communicating effectively. Things like use of language, intention, style, effective method selection, and the list goes on and on, are all things that need development in order to improve in this area. This also usually takes time. As my coach and I recently discussed, some things are a marathon and not a sprint. And yes, I do have a coach. Because good coaches, effective coaches are coached too. Effective communication skills aren't something that you become instantly good at because you've taken a few courses. As I said, this particular skill set must be developed over time through experience and intentional, focused learning. The intentional learning aspect can take on many forms. Things like taking online classes, seminars, workshops, reading books and articles, or watching YouTube videos from your favorite thought leaders can all be helpful development tools. Tip number 2. Among all the things that are good for effective leaders to know about communication for success is that communication is fluid. Communication is something that flows easily and changes shape, and it can take on the context of the information that's being exchanged. An effective communicator also understands that the medium of communication, the method that is chosen, should be suitable to the situation depending upon how the information needs to be delivered. It's important to remain flexible and open to using different modes of communication as well. This means that we may need to be open to changing how we've communicated in the past so that the message isn't lost. Our communication should fit not only the situation, but it should also be relevant to the current times. Tip number 3, among the things that effective leaders know about communication for leadership success is that communication is less about the words and more about the impact behind the words. Don't get me wrong, appropriate word selection is an essential part of effective communication. However, when your words are skillfully conveyed in a way that makes the internal connection, your message will be powerful. Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." This means that your words don't need to be perfect or profound as long as you convey the message in a way that is meaningful to the listener. So as a leader, it will be useful to focus on crafting your message so that you're striving to make a connection with your messaging. If you want a few examples of what this could look like, be sure to check out my video that reviews ways that leaders can effectively express gratitude to their direct reports. I'll try to leave the link in the description box below so that you can take a look at it after this video if you'd like to. The important thing to remember about this tip in particular is that your direct reports need to feel seen and heard. In essence, they need to feel valued and appreciated. On to the next tip. Tip number 4, among the things that effective leaders should know about communicating for leadership success, is the way that you communicate tells those around you what kind of leader you are. People learn a lot about us by what we say and also by what we do. This means that communication includes both verbal and non-verbal indicators. This is especially true for employees because you're their leader and they look to their leader for direction and for guidance. So all of this is going to play a vital role in how they learn to interact with you and how they determine what kind of leader you are. Make no mistake, your direct reports are continually making ongoing assessments of your leadership, and a lot of it will be based on how and what you communicate. This is largely due to the fact that what and how you communicate helps your team to form a mental impression of your leadership style and capabilities. While it's definitely not the only way, it's one of the ways that your team will either build trust with you or view you as incompetent. So keep that in mind. While this may not really be fair, it is often very true. Before we move on to the next tip, what are some of the other ways or things that you do to help your team to get to know your leadership style? Please let me know in the comments below. I'll be interested in hearing what that is. Tip number 5. Tip number 5 among the things that effective leaders know about communication for leadership success is communication can be hard, but it shouldn't be avoided. As leaders, we often have to say and do the tough things at work. And a lot of the time that involves communicating the unpleasant. Things like performance reviews, in-the-moment feedback, and coaching conversations can seem difficult or can be uncomfortable depending on the message that you're trying to convey. But you still shouldn't avoid it. There are ways to convey uncomfortable but necessary messages that will leave both you and your direct report intact. So let me know if you're interested in a video about that topic. I'll be happy to make one. In any event, when you're in doubt, you should contact your HR professional to request supportive resources, as they are the place and they are best equipped to help assist you in this area. Although there's quite a bit of information out there about effective communication, it can be overwhelming at times. And I would suggest that you continue to explore the basics so that you can gain mastery. And that's exactly why I make these videos, to share what I've learned with you. The key takeaway here is that it's all about being intentional when it comes to your leadership development. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe so that you'll see new videos that I post each week. And if you're already subscribed, welcome back and thanks for watching. As always, be kind to yourself, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.